what you want, what you need. Afrodita, neighborhood señorita. Hey, what you want, what you need. Afrodita, neighborhood señorita. Hey, yo, I could never see it, but you can get hotter than jalapenos. My platinum appearances making sure I never be broke. You see, folks.
All right, what's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? This is Metaclean. You are on It's Bigger Than Hip Hop. And hey, yo, listen,
Hey,
I'm going to introduce my partner
oh,
first of all.
come on. Y'all already know what it is. It's your girl, Yoaaphro. And yo, I'm so excited about today, bro.
Man, listen, y'all know we love hip hop, right? I mean, y'all know like we really, really love hip hop, man. And I'm going to tell you, our guest tonight, if y'all can't read, we're going to introduce him. It is none other than Junior Mafia's own Lil Cease is on the Timberland couch. Let me get some confetti. What's up,
Hey,
Cease?
yo,
Welcome to the
hip
Metaverse,
hop
brother.
is in the house.
What's up, baby? What's up, Meta?
Hey,
What's up,
yo,
baby, bro?
Listen,
what's going
we're
on?
so excited to have you on the couch, man. Like, listen, when we talk about hip hop culture, this whole platform is dedicated just to the love of the art form. We don't talk about politics. We don't get into none of the drama. We just talk about the people who are in it, love it, do it, change it, influence it. And man, I can't think of anybody that's been more immersed in the upper echelon of the golden age of hip hop
Okay,
than
you
what
better
Lil Cease and
know.
Junior Mafia did for the industry, man. So,
Word
Thank you,
Cease,
up.
man.
welcome.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate
Cease,
that. Thank you
welcome.
for having me, man. Thank you for having me in the meta world, man. I love it. Appreciate it.
Abs-
Already,
absolutely,
For
already.
sure, for
absolutely.
sure.
So I know Fro got a ton of questions, man. We're going to get into this, man. We're just going to find out a little bit more about your journey through hip hop, some of your influences, and where you're heading, man. We really want to get to know what you're about, and what you're still doing. So,
No
um,
doubt, no doubt. I'm ready.
No,
so let's
for
start
real.
from the
We're really,
beginning.
really excited. For real. Let's start from there.
Yeah, how did it all start for Lil Cease?
For those that don't
Um,
know.
for me, it all. I mean, it's really just simple. It started from Biggie. As a kid, I never thought about being an artist, being a rapper, MC, whatever whatever you choose to call it. But I was always a fan of the music. In that time in the early '90s and early '80s, that's all we
Mhm.
really had was basketball. Your family, you have music.
Yeah,
And I grew up just listening to it all the time, just through my sisters, my brothers, my moms. Every time somebody was cooking or cleaning, or doing something in the house, it was always music on. You
cleaning.
know what
Yep,
I'm saying?
Mhm.
that's
You know,
Saturday
and
music.
yeah, all the time when your mom's cooking, she got the
Yeah,
old school jams on. When your brother back there just got home from school, he'd be back there with his homeboys. He playing all the rap. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And when my sister in there doing her hair and all that, she's playing all the girly, SWV and Evelyn Champagne and all that type of stuff.
yeah,
I kind of just grew into it. And then, once I got to that 12, 13 age and I started going out on them side blocks and, figuring life out, I was hanging around big. And that's when I fell in love with the whole form of the hip hop thing. You know what I'm saying? Getting out on my
Right.
own, being a teenager and having to choose what I want to listen to, the environment I was in. And that's kind of like how I got birthed into it.
Right,
yeah.
right, right, right. So let me ask you this. So being that you started at such a young age, right, in the industry, you got to see certain things, and your story is your story. Just watching the evolution of hip hop as to where it is today. What do you think about some of the artists that are on the mainstreams and some of the messages that they put out there? Like, how do you feel about that now?
I mean, I feel the same way I felt in my era. You're gonna get the ones, you're gonna get the ones that's gonna send a different message, and you're gonna get the ones that's gonna embrace the culture. You know what
That's
I'm
right.
saying? Like in our time, you had Tribe, you had Jungle Brothers, like we just listening to, you had
Yeah,
Daylight, you had Queen Latifah, but you
yeah,
also
Classics.
on the flip side, you had NWA. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
Like
That's right.
you
absolutely.
had
That's right.
other artists, Spice, you had other artists that was really like laying the message down from a street perspective. And then you had the people that embraced the culture. So I look at the new generation as the same way. You know what I mean? You got the NBA young boys and you got the little Dirks, but you also got the J. Cole's, the
That's
Kendricks.
right.
You know
Right.
what
That's
I'm
right.
saying?
That's
So
right.
it's always balanced. So you could see it from both sides.
That's
You know what I
right.
mean? You're
That's
gonna get
right.
the people that's actually talking about their life and talk about their experiences. And you got some
Hmm.
people that just love the music and love the culture. and love what it
Mhm.
stands for and just fans of music. And it's a very balanced ball game. You get the best of both worlds. So, I enjoy it. I embrace it. I don't look at, one the other, no other different. You know what I mean? I think it's
Mhm.
both just a part of the culture, it's part of hip hop, and we get to see the best of both worlds.
That's right. That's right. It was evolving back then when
Absolutely.
you started too. So yeah, I get it. I
Yeah, yeah,
totally get it. I
definitely,
totally get it.
definitely.
That balance is everything,
Hell yeah, for
really.
sure.
Yeah,
You got to.
there were people who didn't understand what we were listening to, right? Like I
Mhm.
remember I got a butt whooping for listening to White Lines on a Sunday morning. My mom wasn't having it. But even the people that we grew up around, right? Because if you grew up around or were around people who didn't look like you, the rock culture and the heavy metal culture and the punk culture was
Yeah,
was really
Mhm.
prevalent at the same time, right? But
Right.
when we started embracing each other's music, we met on a common ground, and there was a little bit of understanding, even though our lifestyles were completely different. Oftentimes, that understanding around the music and that rebellious feeling kind of brought us all together. Yeah, it was
yeah.
ours.
It
It
brought
belonged to
everybody
us.
together. It put us all in one room. Whether you was a guy from the streets, or whether you
Yeah,
was just the cool guy with the 9 to 5 and going to school, we had
yeah,
something in common. And what brought us in one room was the music.
That's
No
right.
matter what kind of
yeah.
music it was, it made us all familiar. It made us all get familiar with each other. You
That's right.
realize the person living next door to you is just like you. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
y'all in
Mhm.
the
for
same
real.
room. Y'all got the same kind of clothes on. Y'all dress the same. Y'all talk the
Right.
same. We identified with each other. It didn't matter what
Right.
kind of genre or music you liked. We just felt like we had something that was just us that we identified with. Like this is our
That's right.
neighborhood thing, and that neighborhood thing
Absolutely.
is all around the world now. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So you got to give props to all
Absolutely.
the pioneers, the Cool Hercs and the Busy Bees, and the ones that really kind of, Red Alert,
Word.
that kind of paved the way for us. Like
MC
for us to
Shan.
eat,
Yep.
yeah, you know what I'm
Great.
saying? Like,
Huge
we
salute.
get to feed our kids and feed our families off a culture that they was actually doing just for the love and doing it for free at
Yeah.
that point.
That's right.
And
That's right.
if y'all don't know who those people are, I keep telling y'all, Google it, and you'll find out the history of where all of this came from by checking
Yes.
up on some of those people.
Yeah,
No,
Melly
yeah.
Mel, the Furious Five. Like, when I be
Absolutely.
doing when I do certain shows and I get to meet these people, man, I praise them and give them their flowers because I'm like,
Yeah,
without y'all, I wouldn't be
yeah.
sitting
Who
on this couch
knows?
in the meta world right
Right.
now. You know what I'm saying? Like, really, it's the
No,
truth.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and they
Yeah.
was doing it on the love. They was figuring out how to
Right.
do it. They didn't have what
Right.
we got
Right.
today to
Not
do
at
what we're
all.
doing. You know what I
They
mean?
didn't have the
So
guidance at all.
yeah,
At all.
the
Everybody
Yeah.
guidance, the
was young when they
equipment, they didn't
started.
have the
Right.
funds.
Absolutely.
They was figuring it out, or they went to that guy that was
That's
actually in the
right.
streets that was hustling. That's like, I see what you're doing. I'm gonna give you some money, get them turntables and get them speakers. And they was bringing them speakers and them turntables
Right.
out to a park and having a
Right.
park jam. And
Yep.
this is how it all, all of it generated to these 50 years right now of hip
Right.
hop. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
So
that brings me to the next question, man. So, how do you feel about that? Because one thing that we recognize sometimes with our genre of music is we don't always look back and pay homage to the people that started it, right? 'Cause,
Mm-hmm.
you look at
Mm-hmm.
like genres like rock and the way the Rolling Stones can get on stage and still fill a stadium with 70,000 people based on that, right? Sometimes with
Right.
our music, something there's a generational gap, right? We got to
It
understand that.
is.
But
yeah,
sometimes the love for that classic hip hop, and I don't even call it old school because old school makes it kind of sound irrelevant. I call it classic
Classic.
hip hop
That's
the same
right.
way they call it classic rock or classic
That's
pop.
right.
Like
yeah.
we don't always, our younger generations don't always understand or appreciate where their art form that they're immersed in comes from. Like how you feel we can change that a little bit?
Mm-mm-mm.
I mean, well, it's changing now. It's a slow process, but it's changing now.
Hmm.
Thanks to COVID, especially. I think COVID
Yeah.
brought people back to the era of music. What D Nice was
Uh-huh.
doing on Instagram,
Right.
Yeah.
what DJ Cassidy was doing with the virtual shows,
Yep.
what Swiss and Timberland did with verses. Like you wasn't seeing
Yeah.
the new generation on verses. Cause you ain't got 20 hits yet. You ain't got 20 years in yet. You know what I'm saying? Like
Absolutely.
it was really just for the pioneers that actually made a difference and put work in and put time in, put albums in. You know what I'm saying? Like it was hard it's hard to think about who gonna do a verses. I'm like, who gonna battle LL? Who gonna
Right.
battle Buster?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't
Good
care
luck.
about the new. I don't care how many albums Drake dropped and
Right.
this person dropping. No disrespect to
Right.
them; those are great artists. But when it
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
comes down to this timeless era, like it's just the music just means more when we was doing it for less.
Yeah.
That's right.
And the
That's
new
right.
generation don't have to do too much to gain access because with all the technology now and social media,
Yeah.
These artists don't know how to do interviews. They don't have to.
Mm-mm.
They
Mm-mm.
go on TikTok and they go on YouTube and just talk to a camera. We had to go do in-stores and sign autographs
Yeah.
and
Right. We had to
sign
get up and
vinyl. We had to
go.
go to radio stations and do
That's
drops
right.
and
Yeah.
do interviews from
Street
one
teams
station to
and
the
all that.
next.
Yeah.
Is
Right.
now street team is just social media. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't have to grind like we had to grind. But when COVID happened, it set everybody still. And it kind of put us in that position where we could sit home and actually do what we do, and it just transformed into what we are today. So 50 years of hip hop, you've seen all the big concerts, and you're seeing people you ain't seen in years get on them stages and rock and see
Love
how
it.
good and young they still
That's
look, and
right. That's
you get to
right.
see it get embraced, and you see the kids now actually sampling these records, and they don't even have no
Yeah.
idea, no
No
knowledge on what
idea.
they sample, where it come from. They just think this beat was
Yeah.
just invented today by whoever produced it, not knowing this
Right.
Yeah.
record probably been sampled 8 or 10 times within the years. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right. Right. Right.
they don't know that. And I think that, when COVID happened, it kind of pushed us back into the front. You know what I'm saying? And now you
Hmm.
get to
Hmm.
see Nas headline a show with Wu Tang. You
That's
get to
right.
see
Yeah,
Busta and
man.
Missy on tour right now. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like that's what you're excited to see. SWV and Escape is on tour right now. Like
Right.
these are
Yeah.
people from our era that's actually getting their just
Absolutely.
dues right now and getting their flowers right now and busting ass too, really singing. You know what I'm
Hmm.
Yeah.
saying?
Hmm.
The
Hmm.
lobsters
Yeah.
up there on verses really rapping, not rapping over shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
Man,
Right.
that
really
Right.
out there
Right.
legendary.
getting
That part.
busy, showing
And
you
not in
Legendary.
the metaverse, real
yeah,
life.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Showing you experience the best teacher. The longer we've been
Right.
Right.
around, the more we
That's
soaked
right.
up and we showing you what we can do. And we're getting it's coming now. You know what I mean? That's actually happening now. And hopefully the metaverse will take it to that next level as well.
Oh, it is. It
Absolutely.
is. I'm
You know what I'm
so
saying?
glad that you
Absolutely.
touched on that though. Like for real, because I feel like the generation, there's people in the generation today, the younger generation, that's just very disrespectful and they don't understand exactly what you just said. So I'm glad you said everything that you said because you put it out there. It is the truth. It's just all about respect, is recognizing where the foundation really came from and
Yes.
knowing
Yes,
what it
ma'am.
is that you rocking off of. You can't sit there and be like, oh, somebody's old and da 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 da. Yo, for real, like just for the record, it doesn't matter the age, is what you bring to the stage, straight up. Like
That's it. Hell yeah.
he said it best. And yo, like, I'm gonna keep it real. Like for COVID, yo, Kwame hit everybody over the head with his concerts, his live concerts,
Yeah, Kwame. Yeah,
bringing
Kwame
people.
Page was dope
Yo,
too. Yep.
he brought Biz Markie, to Instagram on a concert. He brought who else? He brought
He was bringing out a lot of
freaking
people on
a
his.
lot of people. He had
Yeah.
Hakeem Green, Taz from the Alcoholics on one concert,
People you ain't
one
seen in
live
years. That used to be
concert.
one of my
And that
favorite
was the
groups.
first one, right? And so all of that was just from saying, yo, you know what? We're going to put our heads together and we're going to do it like this. And just from that, it sparked so much. So, yeah, you right on point with that. COVID definitely added to the grace of so many
Yeah.
that's doing their things right now. Like, I'm just so,
Absolutely.
man, for real. Like, I mean, there's
Yeah.
so many DJs now. There was so many podcasts born.
Come on. Yeah, look
Yo,
what D
like, we
Nice
all had
look what
something
D
to
Nice
say.
did. Just look what D Nice
Word.
did from that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, I
That
mean, he
part.
literally had like every celebrity on every aspect in his lives, just
Absolutely.
jamming,
Right.
listening
Right.
to just not new music. It wasn't no new
Right.
stuff. It was just
Right.
all these classic old songs, and you look through the comments, you seeing everybody in there. Like you just like we're all
Yo.
home and we're stuck, but we're going back into a time, and that
Right.
time came right back just from that. And
Felt
like you said, just
good
for
and
Kwame,
everything.
Kid Capri, it was
Yes.
so many DJs. I
Yes.
would just go to
Yeah.
their page and just like, yo,
Yeah.
like
Yo.
Cassie
Going
did it for me,
in.
man. That
yeah,
one
with the
really that
virtual
one hit me
shows, like
emotionally.
yeah.
Yeah. Bringing
And I
bringing it
performed for
back
him
to the
three
screen and
times. Yeah.
did you? Oh
Mm-hmm.
man. Yeah.
After that, like
Loved it.
he do the shows live now, and I performed 3 times with him already since like
Man.
after COVID. You know what I mean? So you got to salute and give people props and give them their flowers because they're actually part of
Absolutely.
being responsible for bringing our era back into the forefront.
Yeah, truth be told, man, honestly, the reason that most of us are here in the metaverse now was because of COVID, right? We were shut at home. We couldn't go outside, and we put the headsets on and realized that there's a whole economy, a whole culture, a whole community of people here, and we spend a lot of time in this headset, as you probably finding out now. You can get
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can
for
get
sure.
immersed in the immersion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Yes.
great thing. And also it's a bad thing too, because of course people lost their lives and people
Right.
was passing through
Right.
through the situation
Right.
and all.
Right.
But
Right. Right.
as much as it brung some pain, it brung some joy too, and
Absolutely.
Yeah.
it brought some
Absolutely.
life to
Absolutely.
some people. You know what I mean? So, definitely rest in peace to people. Like it was Fred
That's
the
right.
Godson. A few people
R.I.P.
passed from
Yeah.
that COVID thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
We lost
it
a
brought
lot.
us all together too, and put us all in
Yeah.
a cool, positive space, man. And look
Mm-hmm.
It
at where
did.
we at
Mm-hmm.
now, just from that. You know what I mean? We back in
Right.
position to where we need to be, and the people that's getting recognized that need to be are getting their flowers and getting their props
Absolutely.
right now. So salute.
Right. Right.
Absolutely.
Right. Absolutely.
Well,
Salute with
listen, man,
that.
you got a monumental anniversary coming up, man. You want to talk about it? 25 years.
Oh,
That's
I mean,
facts.
it already passed. It was July 13th when I put out my
Okay.
album, July 13th, 1999. It's the only solo album I ever put out in my whole career, my first and only album. And I did a big show in at Brooklyn Bowl in Brooklyn. I celebrated my 25th anniversary there, and it was dope, man. It was dope. It was a cool experience. I performed with a live band, did my whole show with a whole live band, and that was my first time
Word.
actually doing that for a project of mine. Of course, I
Word.
Yeah.
did shows with Faith, and she has a band, and certain shows I had to do where it was required a band. I did it, but that was the first time actually
Right.
performing
Right.
my album ever. You know what I mean? And then I did it for the
That's
first
what's
time in
up.
25 years with a live band, man. So it
Wow.
was a dope experience. Shout out to the Frank
Mm-hmm.
White Experience. It's a Biggie
Hey,
band
huge salute.
that
Word up.
travel around the world representing for Biggie still, doing all his
Hey,
classic
yo.
songs in
Word
a
up.
band form. If you never saw it and you ever see a flyer with them, go check them out. It's a dope experience, man. And they came and they
Mm,
helped me do my whole celebration for my album live, and it was dope. It's a dope
man,
experience for me, and I loved it.
that's what's up. Ain't
That's
nothing
dope.
like
And that's just
performing
the
with a
start.
live
Yeah, it
band
ain't
for
the end. It's just
Yeah,
the
yes.
yeah,
start.
we're gonna get the Frank White experience right here in the metaverse. We're gonna
Right
get them
here
in
in
here
the
too.
metaverse.
All
That's right. That's
right.
right. That's what's up. Y'all
Y'all
heard it
sold
here
me on the
first. Yo,
metaverse.
that's
I'm
not
sold.
that's it.
I am
See,
sold. I am in.
hey, yo,
I am
y'all heard
in.
it.
I'm
That's
in.
what I'm
I'm a
talking
homebody, so this
about.
works for me. You know what I mean? Like,
See?
Yeah.
from traveling all the time,
See?
after doing 4 or 5 shows for 2 weeks, and I can't wait to get to my couch and get home. And I just sit on my couch for 2 days and
Word.
just rest and reset. And this is perfect for me. You know what I mean? So that's why my
Yeah.
sister and Jen was like, to get me on here, it works for me. So because
That's
when I'm
what's
not
up.
doing nothing,
Yeah.
I enjoy being in my house. You know what I'm saying, by
Well,
myself or
Yeah.
with a few people playing cards and doing things like that. You know what I mean? So this
right,
kind of
right,
works for
right.
me. So I can't
Well,
wait to
Well,
well,
get
I don't,
fully
I don't know
tapped
how
in.
much rest you're gonna get in the
shoot.
metaverse because ain't
I
no
ain't
rest
getting
We're
no
in
rest
this.
happy.
yet.
We're excited to have
I
you
But
ain't
at
getting
least
no
you ain't
here.
got to
rest
go
yet.
nowhere.
The 3 days I've
Yo.
been on, I've been getting off at 7:30. When I take this shit up, it's sunlight. I'm hearing birds. I hear the
Word
puppies
up. I'm
outside.
telling you,
I hear
it's a
people
whole
having
different
conversations.
experience.
I'm about to go to sleep. I'm like, oh, this is
Right.
nuts.
Right,
But it's
right,
worth it
right.
though. It's worth it,
That's right. That's
nevertheless.
right. So let
Yeah.
me ask you this. Since you've been
Mhm,
here in the metaverse and just, since you have been traveling around, I know that you've gone to a few studios and everything.
mhm.
What is your outtake? Like, what do you think about some of the talent that you hear on the mic and just the whole presentation on hip hop here in the metaverse?
I love it, man. It's not even just the talent of just the music. It's the talent of like people like yourself and people like Meta and Jen, just connecting with people that's really making something happen in this world.
Word
Of
up.
my kind, of my
That's
color.
right.
When
That's
it comes
right.
down to technology, they say
Yeah.
people of color like blacks, we're late to the, we're late to the party. You know what I'm saying? Like, and and to meet people that sound like me, that look like me, that's in this
Yeah.
arena creating these atmospheres that I
That's
saw.
right.
I
Huge
think that's
salute.
it's
Yeah.
special to me.
I
Like
mean,
to
That's
know,
right.
like, damn, this guy looked like me. He really made this world. Like he really
That's
did
right.
this, and it just goes to
yeah.
show where your brain is at, where your mind is at, and that's a special thing.
I
You
mean,
know what I mean?
look at the
So
audience, man. It looked like the
yeah,
left
you
side
get
of
what
a
I'm
trailer
saying? Like,
box.
yeah,
Like, look at them shades
Mm-hmm.
in the
yeah.
Right.
audience.
Right. Right.
Look at her
And
turning around. She checking to make sure. Yeah, yeah. It's different.
and I'm sure I'm looking at y'all and I'm like, they gotta look at least 90% identical like this in real life. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Man, I
it's just the
mean,
creation of it. It's something that's really dope. That's why I actually been on here for 3 days for as many hours as I've been on because it got to me. It spooked me to where I wanted to. I was intrigued and I wanted to see
right.
more. I wanted to learn more. And
Right.
it's just the beginning for me, man. So just seeing what I'm seeing and hearing what I'm hearing, I think it's a very dope platform, and I want to try to pull as many people in as I can. You know what I mean? Just to put
Oh
them onto something
man.
the same way Jen put me onto it, the
That's
same way
right.
y'all
That's
been
right.
taking me out traveling to see all these different
That's
Sure.
worlds and
right.
different
That's
spaces.
right.
I want to do the same for somebody else because it may just benefit them.
That's right. And
Well,
that's
well,
what's up because there's a lot
big
of
shout
love
out to Jen
here,
Smash
boy. For real.
for
Yo,
finally
huge
getting
salute.
somebody to listen to her because I
Word
know she
up.
relentless with the phone calls. And
Yeah,
yeah,
this been
so
going on for
finally
months.
somebody
Yeah,
listened.
Yeah.
this been going on for damn near almost a year. and she had to actually have to buy me the equipment, and she sent it to my house. And I was like, "What's this video game she sent me?" And I had to put two and two
Yeah.
together. I said, "I think this is the thing for the meta world." So
Well,
I
the
saw
next
this thing
step
so
was
many
her
times.
pulling up and tying you to a chair and put it on your forehead. So we didn't get that far, but that was the next step. I know, Jen.
Nah, she caught me one day. I was like, you know what? She just said, just charge it up. And I was like, what I gotta do? If it would have sounded difficult, I'd have been like, Jen, I'm not fucking with it. But she was like, nah, just plug it in and put it on your face and just grab them two joysticks. And I was like, that's it? And she was like, yeah, that's it. I was like, okay, cool. All right. Because like now with technology, I'm just a little older. Like I used to love to play like the PlayStation 5, and I went from the Super Nintendos to the Genesis. And once they started to do the PlayStation, they make you use every button. I was like, okay, I can't do this no more. You know what I mean? But then this is just it's a little more simple. It's to the point, and it was very like easy to kind of like get into right away. And that's when it was like, it was on for me from there. I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna fuck with this right here. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah. And then not to
we got
mention,
one more
like the
victim in the
worlds are
metaverse.
just right. The worlds are just so immersive. Like I know you must have felt so good going into a world and just getting to see Biggie, getting to see Notorious B.I.G. and that
Hearing the music
world
in
by
here.
its
That was fire.
yes,
Yeah,
that
was
blew me
fire.
away. That the first time I got to see it was I with Tink and Jen. I forget who I was with, but one of y'all got to, and it blew me away. So I know, like when I heard that you got to visit the world and I got to see the pictures, I ain't even gonna front y'all. I got chills in my cheeks. I got chills in my cheeks right now talking about it because it was just it's so powerful. So I know it made you feel good, right?
His daughter saw it too, and she was like, "Oh my god, that looks so creepy." But it looks so
wow.
dope, like like, and I was like, niece, you just got to see it. Like, I couldn't explain it to her. I'm like, the picture didn't serve. The picture ain't serving no justice. I'm like, no, she has to put on this and go there and actually see it so she can understand it. His son will be at my house. He's landed from Jamaica and at 4:00. As soon as he get here, I'm putting this on his face.
Yeah.
So if y'all, when I come back in here after this, it's gonna be CJ, his son. I want y'all to just say what's up and walk him through so he can actually see it for himself.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I tell you, man, when the talent in here is so amazing. So when I first built my first office, my favorite MC is KRS One, but I knew if I put him on the wall, people might not recognize him, because you have to be from a certain age. So of course, my next favorite, I was just like, I told Cam Bam, who's a creator, I was just like, all right, if you can do it, make me a Biggie portrait. And man, like the picture that's hanging up in Jen's world, when you see it, that picture is Notorious, right? That's the Coogee sweater, Biggie, and everybody that walks in there is just like, how'd you do that? But that's the level of talent that exists in this space, right? Like we look into the audience right now, and we've got people who have management companies, project managers, magazines, real estate, nursing, students, authors, like, and we all now can come into this space and share those gifts with each other and really kind of help each other's platforms to get things moving, man. It's a phenomenal space to be in. So
I love it. And the fact that you could do it from home,
for real.
Because when you're in here, you forget. When you're here, like while I'm here, I'm forgetting I'm sitting on my chair right now in my living room. You know what I mean? Like, but when I'm here, that's totally blocked out in here. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And like you said, I'm meeting people that's like business inclined on a different level. And here, it's totally different, man. Somebody can easily bluff you in your face. You know what I'm saying? And sell you any type of dream. I know dreams could get sold in here too, but it's just a little more different here. I feel like everybody that approached me here, or at least the people that Jen put me in front of, it just felt genuine, and they sounded sharp. They sounded smart. They sounded they was on their A game. You know what I mean? Like and I'm just I'm glad to be here. I'm very glad I was like I'm late to the party, but better late than never. So you know what I mean. So anybody that approached me or showed me anything, it's all love.
Best time to be here was yesterday. The second best time to be here is today. So let me see. Anybody, any catfishers in the audience? Raise your hand. Anybody catfishing right now? See, no hands raised. See, that's what it's about.
No doubt.
That's what it's
Y'all
about.
took me to Puerto Rico yesterday.
Everybody looking around and checking.
You know what I'm saying? I was all over the place in the middle. I was in Puerto Rico. I was on the airplane. I was like, y'all got an airplane, this motherfucker?
Yo, for real. He was like, hold up, a plane?
Yeah, that shit came back. It flew, came back.
Yo, huge shout out to Mr. Waterloon on that one, for real.
Just everything. Either like y'all, all y'all stuff that y'all been creating, or the stuff y'all doing in here, it's amazing. You know what I mean? If y'all nobody never told y'all.
Appreciate it.
to
No,
see like a
thank you.
real
No,
world
for
into this
real.
world is really dope. To see a studio get created, or to see
Yeah.
somebody dream home get created in here, or to see somebody
Yeah.
business
Yeah.
jump off from in here. It
No,
seems like it's
yeah.
easier to get your shit started here than outside in the real world, because niggas will
Yeah.
No.
pull a wool over your
Yes.
eyes
Definitely
and
is.
and feed you a
Yes.
bunch of
Yes.
bullshit and sell you a bunch of lies, and it's like
And
here
take your money. Yeah.
can't bullshit. Get it done here. It's no favors. It's all love and support. You know what I mean? Like, and do to come to your show and call your phone 20 times to get it for free. Here, if you're coming in, you're coming to support. You're coming to show love. You
That's
can't do none of
right.
that here. That's why I love it. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, ain't no cheat code here. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Love
So I
it. Love
love
it. All
that.
It's
right,
I
all
man.
love that
love.
about this.
Yeah. No,
So,
for
so let's
real.
talk about hip hop, man. So listen, I know what song brought me into hip hop. It was Africa Bambaataa, Planet Rock. Heard it for the first time, blew me
Mhm.
away, and I didn't turn back since. Fro definitely has. Fro, what's your song that got you in? That got you saying, man, hip hop is my joint.
Man, it's just every time I'm asked this question, it's just like it's hard for me because it's just so many. But I would say I would honestly say that what got me in was Lottie Dottie. That's what really got me
All right,
into hip hop.
Slick Rick, Dougie
Slick Rick.
Fresh.
Yes.
Yep. So,
Yes.
Cease, what was it for you, man? What was that one
Uh,
thing that made you realize hip hop might be that thing that would be your musical genre? Like I know you like all music, right? But hip hop is something that's
yeah.
special to us. So, what was that one song that made you look at it differently?
I would probably say the message, because I'm talking about as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like before I was, an idea of rapping was even an idea in
Right.
my head. That was just like stuff I heard coming outside and the block parties going on. That's what I heard in the streets. The message,
That's right.
Iconic.
Huge salute to the
Iconic.
Furious Five and
yeah,
Grandmaster.
Yeah.
no
Okay.
doubt.
Yeah.
Hey
What made me want to
yo,
be a rapper
Grandmaster
now?
Flash.
What made me say I would want to be a rapper was "Step to the Rear" by Brand Nubian. It was
Okay.
Grand
Okay.
Puba. Yeah,
That's
Listen.
right. That's
Steps
right.
it's
to the
a
That's
way
right.
Grandpa was on the
was on
rival.
the
Yeah,
rival,
listen.
raised in the ghetto.
Yeah.
I could sing that song word for word, and I sung it for him actually in his face before when I first
Yeah.
met him and shit. I sung it word for word, every verse, all three verses. I used to have a Jan Sport knapsack, Tommy Hilfiger, and I used to have a brush in
That's
my hand,
right.
rap it in the mirror. That song. That's
Uh,
serious. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, sir.
I feel you. Like,
That-
listen, Fro had the opportunity to perform at SOBs in New York, and Brand Nubians were there. You know, I'm an old dancer, so like nobody was dancing, and the minute they hit the stage, I pushed everybody back. I was like, we got to get a circle going on in
no,
here.
he really did,
And I
Yeah,
was,
y'all.
yeah,
He really
yeah,
did. He had a
yeah,
circle going and everything. I had to go
yeah.
look for him, and he had the light on him. There was somebody shining their phone on him, and he was not playing. He was not playing. I'm like, yo, Metaclean is going in over here.
It took it took you
Brand
Definitely.
Nubians.
it just took you back. It just
Yeah,
Yeah.
spent you.
yeah.
It just
One for
spent you
all is
right
my
back.
joint.
Yeah.
And when that
Yep.
joint came on, I was like, yeah, it's over. Y'all gonna, if y'all don't step back, y'all gonna get stomped on by these Timberlands. Move back. Let me do my thing.
No, for
Yeah,
real.
nah,
It was
that
dope.
was like that was the song right there for me. And
Mhm,
Yeah,
Brand Nubian
mhm.
just as a group,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Sadat X, that was like one of Big favorites.
Oh,
That's why Big had a song recorded with him, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, so we
man,
was
that's
heavy
the
on Brand
people's.
Nubian was like that's like one of my favorite groups outside of
Mhm.
Yeah,
Nice and
yeah.
Smooth. That's my favorite group ever
Definitely
in rap
top
Hey,
is
five.
Nice and Smooth.
yo.
Yeah.
Turn up. Nice and
Nice and
smooth.
Smooth,
We
my favorite
taking me
group of all
back for
times.
real.
Outside Brand Nubian and the Locks,
That's
Nice and
what's up.
Smooth. My
Word
That's
favorite
what's
up.
group
up.
ever in the world of hip
Yeah,
hop.
smooth B, and damn, what's my freaking brain? Greg Nice.
Greg
Yeah, Smooth
Nice,
B
My
and
yeah.
Greg
people's
Nice.
dance for them.
You
IBM
gotta remember
dances.
now, rappers be
Yes.
singing and rapping. They was doing that then. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
they
Yes.
Like
were doing it
Way
back
back.
then. Yes.
we're not seeing nothing new with everybody rapping and singing. Nice and Smooth was
Absolutely.
doing that shit way back.
Way
That's
Early,
what's
back,
up.
late
way
That's
back.
what's
And
up.
80s.
even before then, what group was that when they did uh they used to do their little acapella songs. I don't want to say it was Whistle. I don't think it was Whistle. I'm gonna have to get the name of
Was
that
it?
group. But they back in the day they used to do their thing. Da 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 da. And that's how they would
That
start
was
their
nice and
intro
that
to
was
a
nice and
lot of
smooth,
it
wasn't it?
wasn't Nice and Smooth. It was a
Nah,
different, it's
nah.
an old
I
school
know. Yeah, I
group.
know the song you're talking about. I just don't
It's
remember
an
their names,
old
though, but I
school
know you're
group.
talking about.
I'm gonna find that next time.
All right.
Next episode, y'all stay tuned. I
Yeah.
promise you, I
Greg
will
Nice,
have the name of that
more
group.
hits. Me and Jada listen to that
Hey,
album every time
yo.
we in the Sprinter. We throw that album on and just let it play.
Classic, man.
I play
That's a
that whole
classic.
album.
Listen,
I go recite that whole album front to back.
Yo, Nice and
anybody
Smooth is hip hop
anybody
for
that
real.
can
Yes.
figure out
Yeah.
what group Afro is talking about, DM me and I'll do something special for y'all. So let's figure out. Let's see if we can get the audience participating.
Okay.
All right. So we talked
okay.
about the song. Now I'm gonna ask you a really difficult question. Favorite hip hop song of all time, or maybe it's not difficult. I don't know. What is it?
Shit, that is difficult, bro.
See?
You talking about that? I don't think
I'm
it's
telling
That's
you.
loaded,
I'm
yeah.
telling you.
because I mean,
It's not
like
fair.
ever, like yeah, it's like
It's just not fair. I know. I
yeah,
feel your
like,
pain.
All
what
right.
the fuck?
Give me top three. Give me top three.
Top three. One would definitely be "Step to the Real." Like I said,
Yep.
that just stuck with me. Fuck, damn, that's bad, bro. I need five, man. Like when I first heard Kane half stepping, I was like,
Oh man.
I was,
What?
I used to
Let's
watch
get
video
it.
music box. I used to be tuned in just to see that, just to see that
Yo!
video. You know what I mean? Shout out to Uncle
Kane
Ralph.
was different,
You know
man.
what I
Kane
mean?
was
Word
Like,
up.
different.
yeah,
Shout
you know what I
out.
mean? With the chain, he had the flat top, you know what I mean? With all the
Yeah.
jewelry in the
Mhm.
boxing ring. Like,
Yeah.
he was like that guy as a kid. Like, I was like, yo, like Kane. But no, I was spending, Curtis Blow, like Crush Groove. That's one of my favorite movies. So
Word
I
up.
Yeah.
was, I Rule the World. That's like one of my records. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And Juicy, of course. You know what I mean? Like, I just not just
Of
because it's
course.
big, but just of that era where we first started coming up as
Yeah.
Wu Tang and Nas and Hove and Big. That was
Yeah.
like the
What that did to
perfect
the
like
game.
Cinderella rap song to me. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I love it so much because them lyrics he manifested his life through that song.
Yeah.
Because
It
we
was
was
all a
dead broke,
dream,
still
right?
living on St. James Place, and
Yep.
he wrote about
Wow.
and rapped about all these things that he really wanted in life. He was manifesting everything he wanted.
Wow.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And that actually happened after that song. You know what I'm saying? We
Wow.
went and got
Talk
a
about
crib. He was able
Wow.
to buy his daughter
Manifestation.
jewelry. His mom's got a
Manifestation,
crib.
boy.
Homeboys, we
Yeah.
got a record deal now. We getting money. Everything he
Yep.
talked about,
Right.
he manifested that. So that's why that song
Wow.
holds a special
Manifestation,
part to me.
boy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
No
You
one
tried to
Pimpin'
set
act
me
with
up, man, to
links on
talk
the
about
back.
one
That's
song.
right. Got you. Yeah, listen, man. I know it's almost impossible for anybody that love hip hop to answer that question because it's just so many. There's different stages of our
Yeah,
life, man. There's so many things that
Right.
we've been
that's
through,
right.
and it connects
Yep.
us on a really emotional level. So it's hard.
Absolutely.
All right, so
Yeah.
I ain't gonna make it any easier with the next question. So, favorite MC of all time,
That's
if you had to
easy.
pick one.
Female
That's the
MC. You know what I'm
I mean, and I'm not biased, but Biggie Big is my, that's my favorite
Absolutely,
ever.
very respectable.
Yo, word
Yeah,
up.
I'm not biased
He's on
about
a
it.
ton of
That's
people's
just
lists.
as an artist. I felt like as an artist, he laid every layer of hip hop into him.
Yeah,
Flows, 100%,
Mhm.
delivery, 100%,
yeah,
storytelling, 100%,
yeah.
metaphors, 100%.
Boom.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think my brother covered every part of the hip hop culture that you want to cover. And
Absolutely.
that's why I always like put him number one when it came down to the 90s era and you had that argument of him, Jay and Nas. I just
That's
felt
right.
Yeah,
like Big was just more complete. Like
That's
I
right.
he was
agree.
more well-rounded, and that's not saying that because I grew up with him, just as a hip hop
Yeah.
person that I am and hip hop fan I am, he was my favorite. That's number one right there, the best to ever do it.
That's
Feel
what's
that,
up.
feel that. Listen, Ready to Die, man. When I first heard the original unbelievable dun, 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 Biggie Small, I was just like, man, I remember just sitting there looking at the radio like with my head cocked to the side, like, how sway? Like what is this? What am I listening to right now?
Sway.
Like it was just it was
Yeah.
so different and so raw, but not like raw like you wanted to punch somebody in the face immediately. Like you
Yeah.
listen to MOP, you get that. Listen, if I
That's
catch
yeah,
you
you get that
outside,
feel from them. Yes.
yeah,
Yes,
but
sir.
there was just something so raw and relatable to what Big was saying, man, and it just connected on a whole different level, and it just changed the game.
Yeah,
Just
it still
changed the
had
game.
hip hop to it. That's why it was still like
Absolutely.
a hardcore hip hop record, but it
Yeah.
had a culture bounce to it because it was premiere. So it still had hip hop
Absolutely.
to it. It's still, you could have heard anybody rapping on that. Q-Tip
Absolutely.
could have rhymed on that. Fife, Buster, it was and he was hip hop. He wasn't like super grungy and super hard on it. He was letting
Yeah.
you know, like, yo, listen, I'm a fan of it. I can actually rap too. B-I-G, G-I-E, AKA, B-I-G. Get it? Biggie. Like he
Biggie.
was
Hey.
he's playing with you right now. He wanted to let you know, like, outside that street shit, I'm a fan of this shit and I could really rap.
Right.
Yeah.
Words that you
Right.
never thought people
That's
would
what's up.
use, he was using, also known as the bon appetit. Rappers can't sleep,
Yeah.
and he's sleeping. Like his delivery, and he's this flow is up here one time, then it go down. He was just
Yeah.
like
That's
that
dope.
guy. I was just like,
Right,
all right,
right,
you
Amazing
right.
got this shit in
storyteller
the
through the
pocket.
music.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
No,
Yeah,
Make
for
you
you know,
dance,
real.
make you want to fight, make you want to just do everything. Yeah, big shout out,
yeah,
man. Listen, rest
Huge
in peace to one
salute.
of the greatest of all time, one of
For
the
no
greatest
real.
doubt,
projects to ever
no
hit
R.I.P.
the hip
doubt.
man.
hop streets. Not
R.I.P. to my
listen, not just
brother.
hip hop, music, right? Not just
That's
hip hop.
right.
It was one of the greatest projects to ever hit music. And this world is bigger than hip
Yes,
hop because we really
That's right.
believe it's not just the music, right? There are all the elements that we talk about: the DJ, the MC, the graffiti artist, the b-boys, man, the culture, the education, the knowledge. Like all of this stuff is what makes up hip hop, and that's why we can
for
embrace
sure.
it. Like I listen, hip hop saved my life for real because it got me growing up in the
Yes,
Bronx in the 80s. It was nothing to mess with, right? I almost didn't make it out through circumstances. And hip hop was a thing that kind of took me off the street and into the club dancing. And that
Mm-hmm.
really gave me enough distractions to realize that maybe I can do other things than some of the stuff I was surrounded, right? Because it's not difficult to get led in a direction when you're growing up in that environment. It's easy. Like your friends are doing it, you're around it, you dabble in it, you may participate in it, but man, that hip hop I truly credit to saving my life and moving forward. And it's been influential in every single part of my life. Like even my kids, like my daughter's in the audience, and my son, he would tell you like Tribe Called Quest is his favorite group. He 25.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Right.
not even
That
supposed to know who
part.
they are, but I
yeah,
That
raised them
part.
right.
It
yeah,
makes
for
you
Right.
feel
sure,
good.
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, it does. It makes you feel good. I can't even front. My daughter
I
knowing
love
who
to hear
MC
stories
Light
like
is
that
like
when I
dope.
hear
Yeah,
youngins
it's
like, yo, this is my
Yeah.
favorite group, and this is my
yes,
favorite MC, or them,
Yeah.
or you hear they playlist and they playing
yeah,
something,
and
you
they're
like, yo, what you know
young.
about that? You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like, yeah,
right, right. It
yeah,
just
I
makes you
love that,
feel
man.
good.
You know, they
You
was definitely
know,
raised right, or they was in the right space in the
Right.
right
yes,
place. You know what I'm
yes,
saying?
Right.
yes, yes. It was a
Yeah,
purpose. It was a reason for them to hear all of that
yeah.
goodness. But you know what?
That's how Biggie's son is. He's the same
I
way.
wanna, I wanna definitely just say to you, just hearing you, man. I just appreciate you even sharing your emotions with us about how you felt about how Biggie just elevated through rhyme, through sound, and
Absolutely.
just with his rhythm
Yeah,
like that. Just to hear how it impressed you says a
yeah,
lot because there's so many kids out there that looked up to mentors that were just a few years older than them, 10 years older than them, and they wanted to be them. They got to
Yeah.
see them go through different things and
yeah.
see the difference that it made and actually really get to see your friend happy at moments for things that he really talked about in the presence of just you. So for
Yeah.
you to be able to see that manifest, I know it felt good to you because
Hell
you
yeah.
knew in your heart that that's what he
Inspirational. Yeah.
wanted. So
It
I
can
really,
happen.
really appreciate you sharing those moments
Oh,
with
thank you,
us.
Afro. Thank you. I mean, that was
You
special to me. You got to think
welcome.
about
I
that.
know.
I was a kid, you know what I'm saying? Like, really, I was
Right.
13,
That
14.
part.
And outside of growing up with him, as much as I loved the music, I didn't judge him as a friend. I was just a fan of it. And I just thought he was just that dope as a kid.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
I didn't think he was
Right.
dope because he was my homeboy and I get to hang
That's
out and I
right.
get to
That's
see
right.
it get created just
Right.
as
Right.
a fan of hip hop and a fan of music.
Right.
I just knew he was special.
That's
I'm
right.
14.
That's
I
right.
know when I hear something, I was like,
That
yo,
part.
dog,
Yeah.
you are that guy. If nobody don't
Right.
tell you, you know what I mean?
Right.
Sometimes your friends too cool or your family too cool to tell you
To
that you're
tell
that
you.
motherfucker. I
Yeah.
was like,
That's
yo,
right. That's
I'm
right.
a fan, bro. Outside of knowing you my whole life, I'm a fan. You are that nigga. You know, that's how I used to say it because I just thought sitting in there watching as a kid, I was like, how do you think of that? Like, you know, I get a chance to
Right.
ask him.
Right.
Right.
Like,
Right.
what made you
Right.
say that? Like, you just be
Right.
coming up with that in your head. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
it was amazing to me. And then to see how other people embraced him too. We would get around other artists and they're like, yo, Big, like, you know, we meeting Onyx for the first time. They blown away by Big. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like meeting Naughty and Tretchnam. They're like, yo, dog, you the next one up. You know what I'm saying? Because they was all out
Yeah.
before us. And just
Huge
verifying
shout
him
out to the fam.
yeah, yeah. And I think how that played a role into pushing him, you know what I'm saying? Even
Right.
though
Right.
he knew he was it, you know what I mean?
Right.
Right.
But
But
he
his
wouldn't say it.
peoples helped.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, you know, so
That
just being the
support.
chance to get around that changed
Mm-hmm.
my life. And
Yeah.
him knowing me for all them years gave him an idea to write for me.
Yeah.
That's what made him
That
extra special
part.
to me, that he wrote for others. He wrote for
That's
me
right.
because he
That's
knew me
right.
since I was 4 or 5 years old. He could talk about my struggle. He could talk
Right.
about my family. He could talk about my mom's because he watched me grow up since I was 6 years old.
Right.
And
Yeah.
once he
Right.
got in the door, he was like, I taught you a lot. You don't know how to rap, but I'm gonna write you some raps because you've been performing with me. You know how to perform. You got the mindset. You know what you're talking about. You know what you're doing. And he fed me right. Then he started writing rhymes for me. He started writing rhymes for Lil Kim. How dope is that for a young man that's
That's
not even
right.
25 years old yet to go into a girl's mind, a girl's body, and actually write for her?
Yeah.
Go into
Right.
this
Spread
young
love.
Right.
That's a
15-year
Brooklyn
old
way.
body and write for him, like
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
made him more special to me. I'm just like, you really just
Yeah.
wrote about a story about me and my family. Like,
Right.
like you just sat here and wrote a whole girl song for Lil Kim and just talking about
Right.
the whole girl perspective. And I'm like, oh, you are special. You're one of a kind. You're not even 25 years old yet. He was doing this when he was 20,
See.
21.
Listen,
You're
See.
still a
that is a
baby. I'm
valuable
47
That's
lesson,
years
right.
man.
old now. I'm like, he was a baby doing this type of shit.
That's right. That's
That's
right. That's
it's a
right,
valuable lesson,
man.
That's
man. Make
ridiculous,
sure
bro.
you become fans of your friends, right? Just
For
don't look at
sure.
what people can do for you. Like support them and
That's
become
right.
fans of the
Right.
quality of the work and how they exude, how they help,
That's
how they
right.
surround, and just how they make the people next to you better. Like I guarantee
That's
you,
right.
if you all move like that, man, everything's gonna work out fine.
That's
It
right. The
really
more
will.
the merrier. Whenever he needed to
That's
work and get
right. The
focused,
more,
I didn't
the
mind.
merrier.
I
That's
didn't
right.
mind running to that store to go grab something for him. He
Yeah.
was a big
Mm-hmm.
guy. If his shoes untied, I didn't mind bending down to tie his sneaker for him.
Panting down, tying the shoe. Yeah,
That's Big
it
Papa.
might be a challenge.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Big
Right.
Papa
Right.
made Little
Right.
C's. I'd do
Right.
Right.
anything for
That's your
that man.
right. That's your fam. That's your
I'm
fam.
playing my
That's
part.
right.
I'm PYPing. That's what we call it, play your position.
Yep.
Mm.
I do that for him, but I got a key to his car because he don't drive. I drive all of them at 15 years old. I got every bank card
Yeah.
that he owned in my pocket. I live in the next room next door to him. I'm gonna tie his
Right.
sneaker. I'm gonna do whatever he
Yeah.
want me to do. I'm gonna go pick up his mom. I'm gonna go drop that off to his daughter. I'm gonna go get the blunts. I'm gonna go
Aw.
downstairs, get
You
the
gonna make
girls.
me
I'm gonna sit him and
cry.
wind that beat for 8 hours for him. He didn't have to
Yeah.
do nothing. You sit back and relax and be comfortable so you could do your work. Because your work is our work. We all in this together. I ain't gotta be the rapper to help him, but you're
Right.
a part of that team and you play a part. And he taught me that as a youngin', play your part. You good.
That's right. That's
You know,
right.
I love
That's
that you
right.
said that, man, because
Man.
you know, Yayo said the same thing about 50. It's like, listen, man, look what this guy is doing. He's out working everybody, he's providing opportunities. The least I can do as my friend is make sure he good so he can keep going moving forward for another day,
No
man.
doubt. For
That's the way
sure.
Man.
it's done.
For
That's
sure.
Yeah.
how it's supposed to be,
That's how
man.
it's
That's the
For
way
real.
it's
supposed to
Like
done.
be,
you
man.
said it, you said it best, man. And you look out for your peoples. If you see that people are doing good, don't always look for the negativity in somebody. Don't always
Yeah.
look for the
Yeah.
negative. Look for the positive in what people are doing. Like if they're making a change for people around them and for the community that they live in, especially, then so be it. Then push that. Don't run with the masses on some
Right.
positive stuff because that's what holds us back. He said
Play
it.
your
He's only
position.
been here for a few days talking about the more the merrier. Yo, shout out to everybody that has a business in this spot that's making moves. You stay
For sure.
focused, you
For
do
sure.
what you
Salute
got to
to all of
do.
y'all.
Let's stay supporting each other. Let's
Salute to
stay,
every last one of
bigging
y'all.
each other up. Like, because we are all creative in this space and I want to see everybody win. He's saying some real stuff, y'all, for real, for real. And we know it too. We know it in our hearts. And I know that we're
Yeah.
human. But in this space, we're Avatar. We can make anything happen. So let's get it, y'all. For real, for real.
No doubt.
For real.
Salute to every
Much
last one of
salute to
y'all.
all of
And it's
y'all.
good to
For
see a
real.
lot of women too. It's like
Word up. Hey,
much as
hey,
I've been in this space,
ladies.
it's a very
Women
it's
in
a
tech.
very powerful
Word up.
woman
Yep.
thing right now going on, even in real
Yeah.
life music. Like, you
That's
look at all
right.
it's a female game right now. They're taking charge because
Yeah.
females know how to put their pride to the side at times.
That's
They know how to
right.
work
That's
That's
true.
together.
right.
They could sit
Female
there and tell that girl her
presidents.
outfit look
Hey.
great or she look pretty, she look good.
Hey.
I like your hair. We don't like to do shit like that as men sometimes. We
Yeah.
just want to
Yeah. Nice Tims,
sometimes we
man.
just want to just go against each other just for nothing instead of just going, yo,
Right.
bro, I love what you're doing. I like what you're doing, man. If there's ever some space in there for me to help you with some things, or I'm trying to get help with some things, and you might just
Mm-hmm.
recognize somebody ambition
Absolutely.
and recognize that they're being honest and telling you, hey, I want to try to tap into that world. And you take your time out to help somebody tap into something.
Absolutely.
That's how it's supposed to work. It's supposed to work
Right.
that way.
Yeah.
I was raised that
Yeah.
way and I was taught that way. But I grew up with women. I have 4 sisters. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I lost one, but I was raised that way. So I kind of got some experience of knowing where that come from.
Listen,
Man, that's
spread
what's
love.
up,
That's a
man, for
Brooklyn way.
real.
Well, listen, Cease,
That's
we know you
right.
gotta
Word
pick up
up.
CJ from the airport, man. Anything you want to
Yes.
just leave with the audience before we wrap it up today?
No, I just want to say, hey, listen, whatever y'all working on, understand, man, the process is part of the promise. So that promised land you're trying to get to, understand it's gonna be a process to it. It ain't gonna be easy. There's gonna be some rough times in it, but that's your story to your promise. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times when we chasing something and we get bit one time, we fold. It's like, nah,
Mm-hmm.
that's your process. What don't kill you only make you stronger. But
That's
the
right.
more you want, don't think you're going to skate through it real easy. It's going to be you're going to get tried. You know what I'm saying? And as long as you're not afraid to take an L, sometimes an L is a real win in real life. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
So
The
it's part
process.
of your
Hey,
promise. You know what I mean?
yo.
You gotta hit bottom first to know what it feels like so you won't never go back there.
Right.
So when you see
Right.
shit getting hard or shit getting confusing, just keep moving forward, and all them things that you manifest in your head, it's gonna start coming to you. You may not know where it's gonna come from, but if you keep manifesting and thinking on it and praying on it, it's gonna come your way. So whatever y'all doing in here, keep doing it. I'm very inspired. Every story I heard from everybody in here, from in here to the last one I was at yesterday, just running into these buildings and hearing what y'all doing, y'all already ahead of the game being in here. So, salute, keep going, and whatever I could add to, I'm gonna add to it. And if I need y'all, trust me, I'm a holler. You ain't gotta worry
Hey,
about that shit.
yo,
That
word
that's what's
up.
up.
That's
Listen, now
what's
now I feel
up.
like Fro now with the tingle in my cheeks, man. What's going on right now? Listen, man.
Yo,
This was
say it,
amazing.
yo,
Listen, first of
word
all, thank
up.
everybody for coming out. We appreciate your love and support. Please keep checking in with us because we're gonna keep this thing going. We're gonna celebrate the art form that we know and love. Big shout out to Lux Vision Studios Productions for making this all happen. We are
Word
able
up.
now to do what we're doing in here and bring it to you live and direct for your to your screen, whatever screen, streaming on all channels. Big shout out to Jen Smash for allowing us access to her network
Just
of her amazing
smash and
friends and
shit. That's
family.
right.
We truly appreciate it. And of course, big shout out to Yoaaphro because when you look at
No
energy,
doubt,
man,
Afro.
that needs to be put in a
I
bottle
love
and
her
sold at
energy. That's
7
right.
Eleven
Oh,
That's
because
right.
I'll
man.
buy 20
That's
cans
right.
Thank
whenever
you.
I need
That's
it,
what's
man.
up.
And
So
I'm
Man,
glad you
listen,
get all
yo.
that stuff you was trying to hustle and push for out there. You're getting it here. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like
getting it,
man, I
you
really
get to come
appreciate
get
that.
getting
all
it.
Don't
that
make me
shit you want to
cry.
hear, and it's gonna transform outside when you're ready for it
Word.
to.
I really, really
Absolutely.
That's
appreciate
right.
that,
That's
yo.
right.
Word up. Hey,
Absolutely. So, yo,
yo.
listen, I'm Metaclean Rupert, Afro.
Hey, yo, y'all already know what it is, yo. There was a brief moment there because this particular episode is powerful, yo. For real, for real. I'm straight, yo. I know this is bigger than hip hop, but I got a freaking knot in my throat just from what they were talking about, yo. For real, for real. And I know it's, but we gonna remain hip hop, yo. For real, yo. I wanna let y'all know straight up, yo. This is bigger than hip hop. This was so dope. Lil Cease is in the building. Hip hop is
Thank y'all.
definitely
Thank
in the
y'all, man.
house.
Thank
Stay
y'all for having
tuned.
me, man. Much
Yo, word up. As he said,
right.
7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday. All platforms. You definitely want to tune into this one because this right here, yo, hey, yo, y'all know what it is. Hip hop is in the house. Yo, word up, yo.
And you know
For
what it is.
real.
Create, love, inspire, and add value. We will see you next week.
Hey, yo,
yo.
hip hop.
Man, that was so dope.
What you want, what you need. Afrodita, neighborhood señorita. Hey, what you want, what you need. Afrodita, neighborhood señorita. Hey, yo, I could never see it. Like you can get hotter than jalapenos. My platinum appearances making sure I never be broke. It's equal.
We know your biological name is James Lord. We get that. But Lil Cease. So how did you come up with this name in regards to how you were going to carry yourself within music?
Before I knew I was gonna be a rapper, when Big gave us the name, because he gave us the name Junior Mafia. So once he gave us the name, he said we were Junior Mafia. We all just went and went to the library. Back in the day, we used to go to the library, and we went and got books, and we read about like mafia stories and mafia, characters. And it was a character in one of the magazines that was Lil Caesar. He was like 5'4", and he wasn't the aggressive guy in the group. He was like more like the cool guy that controlled clubs and parties and women and that type of stuff. And that more fit in my criteria, and that's what I went with out the group. And when I presented that name to Big, he didn't even say he liked it or he didn't. He just kept calling me that after that. So I figured he was like, all right.
one and only Lil Cease from Junior Mafia in the building. What's going on, Lil Cease?
What's up, baby?
Hey, coming out here representing the Center Square. You are one of hip hop's biggest legends. So thank you for coming out tonight,
Thank you,
Lil
man.
Cease.
Thank you for having me, man.
Absolutely.
Thank you. That's love, and I'm happy to be here in the meta world and the real world at the same time.
Well, let me ask you
Everybody
this.
here.
I'm trying to find out because I think we all know who Lil Cease is, right? But we want to know, Lil Cease, what has your first week been like in the metaverse? You know, keep it real with us. We want to know.
Weird. If you really want to know me, it's weird but overwhelming, and I've been meeting some very great, innovational people in here, and I'm happy to be here. That's why I got these on in my living room, kicking shit over in my house. That should let you know I'm happy to be here.